Thanks everybody for sticking around. It was awesome of you guys, and thank you to the other readers for sharing your incredible work. Also to Peg for pulling all of this together. This is my first time out here, and it's been a really wonderful night. Because I'm rounding out the evening, I'll keep things short and sweet. I'm going to read from this book. It's called Hain't Stay. It's a Western. It's about two brothers, one of whom is pregnant with the other's child. That's all you really need to know. And I apologize in advance for the amount of times I use the word cock in this passage. Sugar's delivery had to be overseen by several of the town's deputies, partially because the doctor had spoken out so strongly against it. The doctor was a committed drinker. He had steady hands until around 3 o'clock, and then he was more than worthless. Since Sugar's arrival, the doctor had committed himself to enfeeblement. He would sit in the bar and drink, and then he would drink in front of the bar, and then he would drink in the alley off to the side of the bar, and all the while he was calling Sugar an abomination and a creature and the devil. He said Sugar was pregnant with his own cock, and if he, the doctor, were to squat before him while he was birthing that cock, it would be more or less the same thing as inviting the animal, Sugar, to fuck him. "I will not be fucked by an animal," insisted the doctor on a nightly basis. He was a man of medicine, a church-going man. He had survived 2 wives and had 2 sons working to keep the peace. He deserved better. The morning Sugar went into labor, the doctor opened up the bar. The bartender protested but did not make a move to pry loose the doctor's hand. In theory, the doctor was a respected man. He was educated and on the richer side of things, and above all, he was necessary to their way of life. He was not a bad doctor, though he was unreliable. He'd once cured the bartender's ringworm without much fuss, and he saved the lives of several men and women who had come down with some kind of horrible fever just the year before. In theory, he was one of the town's more important men. In practice, he was universally ignored whenever possible. In the jail, Sugar demanded help but could form no specific requests other than "please bring a doctor" or "please let me go." The doctor, drink in hand, held court on the porch of the bar. "While I've never dealt in creature before this day, I can confidently say that to let this one out early, to open the cell any time within the next 3 or 4 hours would be the same as letting it loose to wreak havoc on the women and children of our good town. A beast like that won't be slowed down by something so casual as labor, at least not until it's well enough along that it's more or less immobilized by the pain and by the position its body will naturally assume." 4 men, 1 woman, and 3 children were gathered before him, pausing their daily procession in order to hear more details about what was going on in the jail and why so many deputies were assigned to its security and why the doctor himself had been so put out over the last week. Rumors were always spread and the doctor was always talking, but something was different about this morning. Curiosities were as bright as the sun breaking over the hills. It's a Western, so it's got all these little drifty drops. The doctor rose and swung his bottle like a young boy dancing his doll across the floor. "We live and see the world progress into strange, dark places," the doctor said. "The stench of what evil is on the horizon is beyond repute. Every morning I wake to the relief that we are still here, that there are familiar faces and friends about me. And then the horror of our situation settles in, and I feel both pity and fright. At my life, at our lives, and what's to become of them. We are witnessing the de-evolution of morals into muck, the degradation of decency." "You're a doctor?" said one of the men. He was sporting a bright white hat and a long button-down shirt tucked into a snug fit of jeans. "No, I'm the doctor," said the doctor.